Today, I'm finally fitting some brand new parts to my 2013 BMW S1000 RR Sport. So if you've been keeping up with the series so far, you'll know that I'm turning my road-going S1000 RR Sport into a track bike, ready for my first ever track day in Spain in March. And if you caught the last episode, you'll have seen how my bike managed to get to this state. Obviously I've been around, I've taken all of the fairings off, and I began to offer the new set of race fairings that I've got. Bit of an update on that as well. I've decided that I'm no longer using the Gen 3 fairings because, quite frankly, I couldn't be bothered to modify the belly pan. And I'm on a bit of a time crunch as it is, so I thought it'd be better if I just got some that were made for my bike. So I have now got some Gen 2 fairings, but the point of this video is that I'm going to be doing an episode purely for one of our partners, GB Racing. Now, GB Racing are the industry lead when it comes to motorcycle protection. You know, they've got the compound completely right. They're a sacrificial part, but they're strong enough to withstand the brunt of a crash. And thankfully, GB Racing have decided to sponsor this episode as well. So I'm going to be putting on an entire kit.
What did he say?
Since recording this video, I actually found out that my terminology is entirely wrong, and that in the world of motorcycle racing, kit is actually indicative of much higher end products, specifically for racing. So what I'm applying in this video is actually a set. So if you guys want a GB Racing set, make sure that if you ask them, you use the correct terminology. But anyway, back to the video. And you guys are going to see just how easy it is. So as you saw in that brief intro, I've been round and I've taken off all of the previous crash protection. Now, I'm going to be putting on GB Racing's crash protection kit. And the point of this is to essentially protect these engine casings. Because obviously if they get damaged in a slide, that's going to be a pretty costly repair. Not to mention the fact that, you know, it's going to shut a road for quite a while if you're riding on the road. And it's also going to end the track session if you're riding on track. So it really is important to protect these parts of your bike. And like I've said, GB Racing are pretty much the best in the game. They're a sacrificial part that are actually strong enough to take the brunt of the impact. But they will fail by design to protect the rest of your bike. And whatever bike you might have, GB Racing quite possibly does protection for yours. I'm going to put a little screen just here, and I'm going to have a flick through the website. As you can see, there's a lot of brands that are covered by GB Racing, and pretty much any bike from 2006 has protection made for it. So whatever bike you have at home, chances are you're going to be able to get some GB Racing protection for it. I'm also going to put a link in the description to the GB Racing website, and thank you again for sponsoring this episode, GB. I really appreciate it. So recently I've been looking through our analytics, and it turns out that a lot of you that are watching our videos every day aren't actually subscribed to the channel. And while we're pretty close to 300 subscribers now, which is awesome for how new this channel is, we want to build up a little bit more, and we want to be able to bring you guys as much content as humanly possible. You know, we want to show you the behind the scenes of the BSB rounds. We want to show you bike builds just like this. We want to show you super stock builds. We want to bring you guys along for the journey. So if you like this video and you like our other videos, hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon so you get alerted as to when we upload a new video, so you won't miss another one. So in terms of actually offering up the engine protection, it couldn't really be a lot easier. As you can see, I've got the clutch cover here, and it simply slots on to the standard positions, and then 3 bolts that go through, and it'll pop straight on. So along with the actual covers, you actually get hardware included as well, and quite a nice touch. The hardware supplied with this kit is actually Torx as well, just like the standard BMW bolts. So it's quite nice continuity, and it means that you don't have to start changing spanners around, which is obviously, as I said, really quite handy. So as you can see now, I'm just winding these bolts in. There we go, and that's that one fitted already. Literally a couple of minute process. So obviously this is the pulse cover, and this slots on just down here, and it just protects this part here. And again, comes with hardware on. And that's that. It really is that easy. A couple of bolts which are actually provided as well, and you've got some protection for your bike. Also, it must be said, the packaging is actually really, really nice. And, well, I guess it speaks for the quality of the product. Because if the packaging itself is quite nice, then you know that the product's going to be as well. So we're on the other side now at the alternator cover. Exact same process, a couple of bolts in the standard positions, and it'll be in. So, and that's that fitted. Again, it really is that easy. And the quality, as you can see, it's FIM rated, so that's World Championship spec. So they really are trusted by professionals. I'm not a professional, this is my first ever track day, but I know the brand, I trust the brand, and I'm obviously putting it on my bike as well. So, next order of business, obviously, get these horrible things off, and then start fitting the GB Racing ones. So let's whip these off. That's them, thankfully, gone. We'll just do the other side as well, while we're here. New lever guard now going on. Just give it a quick tighten. Don't want these coming off. Throttle still works. Let's go to the other side. Of course, we've got the other GB Racing lever guard ready to go on now. So just pop that in. Give it a quick spin. Again, really, really easy install, and quite frankly, you're not going to get any better protection from another manufacturer. So, of course, I'm very, very happy that I now have GB Racing parts. Well, I've got a full GB Racing set really, but next order of business, we get the frame sliders on. So in with GB Racing's protection set, you get this, which is a bullet frame slider. And what this does is it mounts directly to the frame there, and it essentially just takes the brunt of the impact from the frame. Now, you might be able to see this hollow tube is actually designed as a sacrificial part. So what often happens is, when a bike goes down, it puts too much stress through the bolts that go in here. And that obviously bends the bolts, and at the end of the day, it then breaks the mounting point as well, which is obviously not brilliant. So this little tube is designed to fold if it comes under too much stress, and then it saves the bolt inside. So it's pretty clever stuff. So obviously, enormous bolt, it just goes straight into there. There we go. And then the front just slides on, and then little bolt at the front, and there we are. That is a GB Racing bullet slider fitted to my bike. So after doing the frame sliders, next order of business, paddock stand bobbins. I've already taken the old one off, as you can see, and they're going to be replaced with GB Racings. There she goes. Chucking the new one in now. So bear in mind, I've also got the shark fin, which is, as it says here, a lower chain guard. That is going to be fitted to the bike, but just not in this episode, because I'm going to put that on when I change the chain. As you may have saw on the shorts, in the what's in the box, I also got a parcel from the race shop, and that includes new chain and sprockets, and everything that I need to prep my bike for Spain. So the shark fin is going on, but it'll just be on in the episode where I change my chain. So that's going to wrap up this episode of Street to Circuit. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And again, huge thanks to GB Racing for sponsoring this episode, because quite frankly, there's no better protection that I could possibly have for my bike in the event of a slide. And I hope you guys have sort of enjoyed seeing how good a quality it is, and enjoyed seeing how easy it is to fit it as well. You know, that level of protection from that small amount of effort to actually get it fitted is well worth it in my books. Compared to the leading competitors, GB Racing really are top of the game. I mean, the protection that I took off of it is, quite frankly, inferior quality. It's not as thick, doesn't feel as durable, but with GB, it really has given me that confidence that my bike is going to be safe. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, because, as I said earlier, it really does help us out. But no, Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.